I'm a marketer by profession, so I come from a very strong sales background, which is why I always want to emphasize or put right at the center of every business that we do the customer, as well as the quality of service, the customer experience, which has to be superior. So my training is that I did marketing and perhaps right out to PhD level, which has obviously helped me to appreciate the different dynamics of running a business entity and of course appreciating the macro as well as the micro environments of a given business. Way back, I come from a background where I worked for Delta Beverages. By then it was NATPO. I then moved on to Old Mutual. I then moved on to Old Mutual Financial Services. I then moved on to Population Services International, a non-governmental organization. We were also involved in sales. From PSI, I then moved on to Telesales Zimbabwe before joining ZITF in 2017 as a sales executive. And I then acted as general manager then, after the departure of the previous general manager, Dr. Matemba. So, and then I was finally made substantive CEO in 2021. So that's my journey so far as career progression is concerned. Been interesting, exciting in some instances, quite challenging in most, particularly during the COVID-19 era. We were in a situation where we were not sure whether we were going to survive the pandemic or not. But again, we came up with different initiatives to make sure that we managed to ride out the wave, which was also a consequence of the support that we enjoyed from the board, the support that we enjoyed from the entire team. It was team effort. Eventually that allowed us to ride out the COVID-19 wave, which really affected a number of entities, particularly those that were involved in the meetings, incentives, conferences and exhibitions space. Tourism was affected in a very big way, and so was business tourism. So we are in that space, and obviously we were not spared from the effects of COVID-19, the closed downs and so forth, limitations to the number of people who could gather at any given time. Yeah, so that was a challenging period, but again, exciting periods did follow. We started to pick ourselves up, and we have seen the numbers growing yearly. We are on an upward trajectory insofar as exhibitor numbers are concerned, and we have been consistent in that thrust. And we have also seen exciting developments in the space of trying to improve the infrastructure, because we're in the services space. The physical evidence does matter. The physical infrastructure does matter. So we've given it some bit of attention, and that is all with the intention of improving customer experience and of course attracting more and more business to the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Centre. So that has been exciting, and of course, just like any other entity that's operating in Zimbabwe, we've had some uncomfortable moments. So when the economy was transitioning and is still transitioning, so we have to adjust and readjust all the time. So that's again exciting. But we have always believed in teamwork, believed in the employee, believed in the customer. So once you give those variables sufficient attention, we've seen that you can actually thrive, even in difficult conditions. But as a country, I think we have seen this transformation, economic transformation that's currently being driven by the Second Republic, and that's hopefully creating good environment for business like ourselves to be able to grow, to attract partners, both domestic and international partners, in order for us to foster growth in that space. So, yeah. In terms of ZITF preparations, they are on course, and we're quite excited by the numbers that we've seen this year. It's actually some growth from previous closing about 97%. Now the last count was we were at 98%, which is significant growth. Foreign participation, again, we've seen significant growth from 21 countries participating. Now we're at 27 countries and still counting. So it's an exciting journey because our desire is always to reflect that international flavor that we want our local business people to interact with foreigners, to foster not only industrialization within the country and moving the economy up the value chain, but also promoting trade, which is why our theme is quite apt in that it foregrounds the element of innovation as the catalyst to industrialization and trade. So currently, exhibitors are building their stands and in preparation for the show. We ourselves have also seen the need to also once more introduce a marquee, a tent, a huge marquee, to make sure that we accommodate the overflow. So that again is an indication that we've been growing, and as a company, of course, our desire eventually is to have a modern, contemporary convention center that is going to accommodate the numbers that we seem to be attracting. And of course, it is within our transformation strategy that we'll be focusing on those areas, and ZITF will be showcasing our master plan. That is the initial stages of the master plan, to say this is what we hope the future Zimbabwe International Exhibition Centre should look like. So that again is an interesting space that we're venturing into, and we'll count on the support of various businesses to come forward and support these different initiatives as we seek to transform the ZIEC. So that's quite exciting for us. So yeah, we think that this year's show is going to be bigger, better, and certainly as we speak, innovation will see interesting exhibits on display as people showcase product innovations, maybe innovations in terms of their route to market, perhaps innovations in terms of their promotion of different services, businesses, perhaps innovations in terms of their processes. What is it that is interesting that they can actually come and showcase, and hopefully that will give them an opportunity to advertise, foster synergies, and of course promote brand awareness. And we think that will be quite interesting this year.